To be a rabbi, you have to be able to see the unshed tear and hear the unasked question. What drew me to Judaism is that thread of story from ancient times to today. All of my stories, all of my sermons really revolve around trying to untangle that knot of time. The writer side of me and the rabbi side of me feed each other. In many ways, my rabbinate is my field work for my writing, and my writing is my soul work for my rabbinate. When I was living in Jerusalem, I studied many Jewish texts, and there's a point at which, when studying Jewish texts as a young woman in the male tradition, you start to wonder, well, what empowers me in this tradition? When I started to feel that I was left out of the text, I started to turn that sense of invisibility into something beautiful. There's something very liberating about invisibility. In many ways, when you write, you have to imagine yourself bodiless. You're actually strolling through the desert, kicking up dust. Your heart is beating and it's somewhere else. The protagonist of Drawing in the Dust, Page Brookstone, as an archaeologist, she sorts through broken ruins in an attempt to find wholeness in herself. And what is beautiful about the story to me is that it is filled with real personal revelation. The novel opens with a scene where Paige is at a dance. Her only partner at the dance, she feels, is the clock across the gym. She spends much of her life trying to dig her way further and further away from time. She doesn't feel like she's allowed to go forward. She tunnels through tombs looking for that exit into light and into hope. She agrees to go to an Arab family's home, and they find the remains of Prophet Jeremiah with his arms wrapped around the remains of an unknown woman. And they discover a scroll that is written by this woman. The book ultimately becomes about Paige's attempt to translate this scroll and to bring it into the light, and also about her own self-discovery. And as a rabbi, I do something similar. I move through the scattered sheaves and sacred moments of people's lives. I've always been fascinated by anything ethereal. Writing is very much like a dream. All the parts reflect the part of yourself. At some level, I feel deep down that if you look at all the different things that I do in my world, that underneath it all, it's really just about loving people.